What's up, everybody? This is Messiah Hill, and this is the scooter backflip. Oh, yeah! Woo!
Wait, Dad, do we have a podcast tonight?
Oh, yes. See, I'm gonna be late.
Here, you're gonna need this.
Thank you.
Hurry up.
There we are. Joey Yates, what's up, my bud?
It's good to be back.
Dude, yes, we are here. You got a new backdrop. This is like a thing every show.
I'm moving around. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to find a home. A studio home, not an actual home.
Yes. Well, I'm impressed with what you build out there. It looks like you got representing Transcend MTB in the background. Well, you got Spy, Goop, Etnies, Dionyse.
Grabbing things off the shelf real quick.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Oh, man. There's Tasco. Got the Tasco hat. Was that a YT jersey? I think that might be YT hoodie. Oh, yeah. The YT mom.
And this is best of all, my Spy from Rob out there, Sunglass Rob at Sport RX.
Shout out to Sport RX, keeping our podcast engineer pushing the right buttons. Dude, so many good things going on in the mountain bike community. Check in with the chat real quick, Mr. Joey Yates. We got Spokesman MTB with the Whole Shot Award tonight. First to be on in the audience. What's up, Spokesman? Good to see you. He says, people over at the house tonight. I'll catch up at the cast tomorrow. Happy holidays, everyone. Hey, play us in the background of your holiday party.
There you go.
We got Jacob Cruz and the folks there. The veterans are on board. Team EVA, ready. Good to see you guys.
Them this weekend, right?
Heck yeah. That would be awesome. We got fellow SSB rider there, Air Blair, says, good morning, boys. Where is he? Is he in Australia?
Either he just woke up. I don't know.
Right? Yeah. He may have just woken up. And then welcome to the show, Trail Pimp. I see a lot of people popping in. This is awesome. You guys are in for a treat today, and I'll tell you why. What's up, MTB Rating? I just see you right there. Yeah. He says, still a little wonky over here. Huh. Wonder why.
Maybe he was hanging out with Air Blair and they both just woke up.
Yeah. Good morning. We got people from all over the pond on the show tonight. Hey, all. We've got a special guest on the show tonight, and this is awesome. So you all know the game Madden Football. It's a $1 billion franchise. If anyone has played Madden, then for sure you have seen the guest that we're going to have on the show tonight. He is known as the Madden Man, aka Kenny Bell, and his IG is KennyBell07. And we get a chance to really just talk to Kenny, get to know him. And what's great about this is that Kenny is an athlete, and he always reminds us that athletes need to be ready. Like, we're athletes as mountain bikers. And what's cool about Kenny is the grit, the mindset, and nutrition. And we're going to be able to dive into any and all of that stuff with Mr. Kenny Bell. And Joey, if you wouldn't mind, let's roll a couple clips of Kenny out there, and I'll roll music here on this side. And check it out. This is Kenny Bell on the practice squad field with a lot of the NFL stars. Here we go. That's Drew Brees, Kenny Bell. Pretty good. There he is. Look at him run. Look at him go. One slice, not to roll the dice, yes. Running on my life, running on my life. One slice, not to roll the dice, running on my life. I'm married to the guy, so I made my wife. I got all that, probably right. But then after the show, straight into the light. Yes. Yes. Kenny Bell. Look at this guy. He is fast. He is ready. And this is one of the largest motion capture actors out there with regards to what they have to do. EA Sports, Madden Football. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring him up onto the show right now. Please welcome special guest, Kenny Bell.
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Yo, Kenny, good to see you, man.
Likewise.
Man, thank you so much for jumping on the show. Really appreciate it, man. I ran into you probably like at least 3 years ago. We met on the football field,
right?
And I was watching you run these routes. My buddy Drew Brees was getting ready for the season. All the guys were getting ready for the season. I think we were in July.
Yeah,
before preseason doing work. And I looked at my friend Todd Durkin, who was helping coach that day, or who was coaching that day. I was like, "Coach, who's that guy right there?" And he said, "Oh, that's Kenny." And
man.
I got to hear the backstory later. The Madden Man.
Yes, it's crazy. You know, well, first I want to say thank you for having me on your show, guys. I really appreciate it. You know, thank God for allowing this to happen. Second, you know, it's been a cool little road. You know, I'm glad that we had a chance to meet out there, and Todd is a good guy for allowing us to do that for about 8 years, actually. Carson Palmer used to be out there, you know, so picture that, and his brother, you know, used to be throwing too, you know, so it was a lot of guys that was out there, you know, a lot of guys that didn't have the shine that most guys out there had that organized it, but it was some really good athletes out there, guys that didn't make it, you know, that should have been on teams. But you know, every you know, what a saying is, you know, the best guy doesn't always make it to the field, you know, so that's just how it is sometimes. Some of the soldiers are doctors, you know, some of the soldiers are out there down on the battlefield, you know, so it's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. And watching you out there run routes with legends like obviously Breezy, and saw Darren Sproles was out that day. Michael Thomas was out that day. You guys were just clean. I mean,
dude. I mean, you guys know how it is. I mean, it's similar to the biking industry. You know, you have to. It's like putting the right, you know, octane inside your vehicle. You know, so your body is the vehicle, and once it gets to any type of situation, it has to motorize the situation. You know, so when it comes to football, your vehicle is your body, and you have your legs and your eyes and all these things that you have to keep up when it requires fuel, you know, and it's what you put in your body, and we get what we put in and we get out, you know. So it was just it's this awesome experience when you're around people that can understand that, you know, no matter what sport you're in, you know. So it's just like, you know, and it's super hot, you know, it's super hot those days. You know that, you know, you're out there.
Oh yeah.
So you got to be in peak performance, and then after that you go to camp, you know. So a lot of that was starting like that would go for what, a month and a half almost, and then right from there, go to football camp, then right into the season. So it's a testament to guys' dedication to themselves and to the sport that they're in, the respective sport.
Kenny, the thing that struck me the most was watching you guys. It wasn't like we were out there like kind of just, oh, we're just gonna run this route and, you know, throw it to me nice and easy. I mean, you guys were like in game mode. You guys were, you guys were going all out. Is that just the guys that are just sharpening their swords to do a little extra so that when the season starts or for camp that they're just sharper?
Most definitely. It's actually two things, Mark, sorry. It's like this. Think about it like this. Most guys, when you say sharpening skills, they're thinking, you know, getting more accounts in their business, or, you know, closing more deals or things like that, or, you know, selling more cars, or, you know, making more investments. The thing about when it's sports, it's like that is your job. That is your investment, you know. So whether you want to do it or not, your boss wants you to crunch those papers at the end of the day, right? So you have to do that to get paid. It's not like, it's like this. It goes from in high school, it's a privilege and we're having a good time, but once you get to that point where this is the tax bracket that you're in, this is the business that you're doing. I don't care what guy is out there. He may hate what he's doing, but this is your job. It's not like all sports athletes can just leave that realm and go and do what they majored in, because that's, you guys know, like I know, once you've done something for a certain amount of time, you're kind of hardwired into that, so those guys, and a lot of times it's not just extra work to be better, it's because this is my life, my livelihood depends on this, so I have to do this extra things to be ready to go to the next level, so, but it benefits both ways, of course. I'm sharpen my skills, get it tight, but if I sharpen my skills, not only do I get better, I'm more successful, the team's more successful, the organization's more successful, the business I'm part of more successful. It's the same scenario. It's just the fact that it's a physical thing and not a document of our a white collar thing, if you will.
Yeah, no, I could see that too while you guys are on the field. It was definitely business,
It's
and
important. It's very important. It's always competitive. It's
yes,
always competitive. There's no anybody that tells you that we're just out there having a good
oh
clean
no,
this up. He messed this up. I'm gonna clean this up. He did that good. I can do better. So it's almost like it's always lions amongst each other, bro. It's never lions with lambs. It's always lions amongst each other. When you were out there, bro, you was around any look. Let's put it like this. It's so competitive. Anything can set something off.
yes,
Anything. Like
yeah,
the Draymond Green situation with Poole. It's like that wasn't even a fight, if you will. That was just emotions that's just in practice every single day.
yes, yeah,
Because I'm trying to sharpen my skills into, get better, but also this is my business.
yeah,
So
oh
you
yeah.
know that don't mean to be long-winded, but that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah, it was impressive, man. It definitely was one of those things where like, hey man, it's a Wednesday. We're at an undisclosed football field out here, and there was guys from multiple different teams, but
Mm-hmm.
they were flying down the field. You guys were executing as if you were been on the same team and played together forever. It
Oh, it's
was just
beautiful.
it was so clean. And if one
Oh,
person dropped the ball, which was very rare, you heard it on the
yeah,
field. You heard
yeah.
it. It was like, "Oh, man, I couldn't have catch that thing anyways if I was standing still."
Yeah, it's actually it's crazy. One thing that you have to respect about the whole situation is that out of the 8 years that I was a part of that whole thing, as far as running routes, catching balls, and being with the guys, how much social media did you see from those events? How
Man,
much did you see those guys like individually posting things? You didn't see not
it
much
was
of anything.
it was undercover.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
That says a lot about the professionalism. you
Yes.
know, had nothing to do with look at me, you know.
Yeah.
It's some really, really important stuff and things that are said and jewels that are dropped when you're out there. Like it's some kids that were out there in the span that I've been out there that are professional NFL players right now. That were kids coming out there with Todd introducing them to the players, and these kids are like going to high school and becoming all Americans, college, and right to the pros.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of jewels being dropped out there. There's a lot of old veterans come out there, man, and it'll really blow your mind, bro.
Yes, I
Hmm.
love that. I love that. And one of the reasons why I was hoping for you to be on the show, and thank you for being here, is that
Well,
mentality and the mentality that we have as mountain bikers too, like, or athletes, like when you're out there and you're in a squad and a group, and that's our iron sharpens iron, and you're pushing each other, and it's like sometimes you don't even have to say anything. You could just feel
mm,
it.
yeah,
There are
yeah,
times where we'll roll out and it's like, we're going to take it easy today. And then one person ends up elevating up. And then without word, the next person's elevating up. And then the next thing you know,
yeah.
you're like doing things you never thought you'd do. Like, I thought we were going to take it easy.
That's that competitive nature, man. Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
exactly. And in the world of split seconds and timing and positioning and angles and balance and everything else, your body has to be at such a high performing level.
Tell it.
Can you talk to us a little bit about just being ready? Like what does being ready mean to you in your discipline, in your sport?
Well, being ready, first off, is it's consistency. You got to be consistent. In order of being ready, you have to practice something over and over again, so you don't have to be ready, if you will. You actually staying ready. Once you get the platform or the outline of what it takes for you to get ready to so some people may have to visualize the experience beforehand. You may take them a week. They may write down concepts. Some people might write down what they're going to do inside of what they're going to do. It might be a mental checklist physically written out so you can read it beforehand. Some people like to listen to things on audio, affirmations over and over again, with whether they're saying it or somebody else. Some people like to just not think about the event the whole time. You know, all those things are mental preparations, but once you mentally get ready, you just have to depend on your physical to fulfill that mental desire. So to me, if you're putting in the right fuel, like I said before, the right foods that consist with the event that you're doing, and you're staying consistent with that, whether it be eating, training, and resting, you stay consistent, then you can do mentally whatever you want to do. It could
Mm,
be it could be something that, hey, Kenny, tomorrow we're going on a 30-mile ride. Guess what? I'm ready for 30
yeah.
miles because
Yeah.
I've been consistent at it. It's not about the being ready, it's about the staying ready. It's all about consistency. It's
I,
always been about consistency.
I love
You
that,
know,
man. I love
that's what
that.
it is.
Yeah, that mentality to always stay consistent. Like
Yes.
it's it's definitely harder to get ready than it is to always be ready.
Yeah. So
For
think
sure.
about it. Think about it. I don't mean to cut you off,
No, no.
but think about it like this. If you're practicing something over and over again, like a Michael Jordan type situation, Kobe Bryant, Wayne Gretzky, all these greats, they make these shots, they make these clutch situations look easy because they just keep practicing it over and over and over again. So even
Yeah.
at your lowest, you'll still be at some people's best because you stay consistent at what you're doing. So even the slumps you'll hit, but you'll always come out because just keep doing the things that work consistently over and over again, like a jump shot, like a swing of a bat. You
Yeah.
know, it's the consistency when you find what works for you and brings you success, because you can only get better if you see. People think if you stay consistent, it's like conveyor belt going. No, you stay consistent at eating right. The older you get, the stronger you get. It's
Yes.
it's 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 a long game here, and even when you're 18, young man, it's the long game. Young lady, it's the long game. If you're doing mountain biking, it's definitely the long game. You're going
Yes.
up mountains, you're coming down terrain, you're hitting curves, you're falling, you're getting back up. It's the long game,
I
you
love
know.
it.
So that's how I look at it. When I was 18, I wanted to feel the same way I felt when I was 18 for when I'm 42. I wanted to be able to uh, dunk a ball, to run in a track meet, to play in a football event, and be at the highest level of competition. And I'm able to do that. So it's been a thing of consistency, not of a magic pill. It's just been of consistency and doing the right things that fit for me. It's a formula. You are your own algorithm. You just have to tune in and keep it consistent. So when people log into that, they get the same thing on your blog. They get the same thing on your vlog or on your website. It's a consistent thing. Nobody wants to go to the grocery store and I keep changing up the aisles, right?
Right. Where is this thing
Right?
at again?
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely so. Definitely so. And consistency is great because it breeds opportunity, it breeds luck. Like the more you go out there, the less of the other stuff you need. Like you don't go, oh man, I got lucky. It's it's
Hmm.
a lot of your skill set in, and then, hey, if there's a little bit of luck, it's because you've earned it.
Yeah,
You start
exactly.
giving it.
Exactly. Exactly. The old saying goes, what is it? Repetition is the father of genius. You know,
Yeah.
so you keep doing things over and over and over again, bro. You don't have to be a student or an engineer that took all these classes. Just keep working on that damn plane. Keep
Yes.
working with a person who know what they're doing. It's like when you're an apprentice. An apprentice is not normally take a bunch of classes. I'm working right next to Mark. So if I stay with Mark for 10 years, I'm gonna know exactly how to do it without taking all these classes for 3 years, for 2 years, whatever it may be. I can learn that way. You know, so those are things that I think are just overlooked nowadays. You know?
Yes. Oh man.
Mhm.
I love it, Kenny. Hey, we're gonna check in with the chat real quick. We got a lot of
Cool.
folks in here watching and listening. Just want to give them some shout outs. MTB Nick is in. We got EMTB
What
Mall Ventures. That's Rick. We got
what's
Eric.
up?
Eric Blair in Laguna is saying what's up to you as well.
Oh,
Uh,
thanks, man.
Scott out of Arkansas. The Narkansas are here.
Hey.
Yeah, we got a veterans group called Team EVA,
Hey,
Expeditionary
shout out
Veterans
to all the
Association.
veterans, straight up, straight up. Shout
Yes.
out to all the veterans, man. You
Yeah.
guys got a part of my heart. Real talk.
Yeah, those guys, man,
Mhm.
those are some warriors in that group. And they like to say, there's rain coming this week to ride. And they say, if it ain't raining, then you're not training.
Hey,
I've heard them
that's what
say.
I'm talking about, bruh. Yes, yes. That's a whole nother segment right there, man.
That's right. EVA is saying pro athletes are like being in the military. You must maintain your superhuman status until you finally leave the sport service, or as Kenny would say, or when the casket drops.
Amen. Amen. Because this is always combat.
That's right. Eric Blair saying pro football players are a whole nother level. I had the pleasure to be neighbors with and worked out with every morning, 5 a.m. NFL QB Jeff
That's my
Garcia.
boy. That's
There,
my buddy right there. That's
there
my
you go.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout
Nice.
out to Jeff. What's up, Jeff? It's my
Yeah.
dude.
I
Yeah.
I love it.
Hmm.
MTB Tank is in the house tonight. We also got, man, you got, this guy is from over this pond. This is out of New Zealand. Octodad is on. He says, "What's up,
Hey,
MTB
shout out to
nerds?"
New Zealand, Auckland. Been there. Been there. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes. Shout out to Auckland, New Zealand.
He's saying, "Cool to hear how Kenny's story can help people in the sport. This is awesome." Miami's in the house with Mountain Bike Q&A. What's up to Johnny Yu in the show tonight? Johnny actually asked a question. Kenny says, "What can you do when you lose your consistency? Say to get it back. So easy to get off track
Oh,
sometimes."
this is kind of a simple one. Nowadays with it being all this technology and all this stuff, you have to record yourself. You can record yourself doing things. Replay yourself doing stuff, man. Sometimes you may have to change your haircut. Sometimes you may have to the guy that you see in the mirror, sometimes that image may have to just change slightly. Just slightly. You have to play mental tricks with yourself. The whole thing the thing about life is you're going to be spending your whole time trying to figure yourself out because in every 10 years some new stuff goes on. You know, if you have a child, the child is in a different situation, so that you start learning more about yourself in that situation. The different seasons of the life start changing, so you start seeing how are you when you put your winter coat on. You know, that seems your older stages in life. How are you when you got that summer tank top on, your summer stages in life. You know, so you just have to you have to remind yourself of who you are. And
Mm,
now with, like I said, with this technology, we can actually go back and see, man, I inspired some people. This is who I am. If I need to be reminded, I can go back into the database now. You know, you don't have to ask anyone. You can be your own motivational speaker. You know, it's just that easy now. You know, but you have to be a believer in yourself. You have to, it starts with you. Like old man told me a long time ago, when you die, it's one person in the casket. There's no side carts. There's no little box for your cat, for your dog.
right.
You know, whether you're getting cremated, there's not a double urn. You know, it's not like y'all die, you go with me. You go with your secrets, with your desires, with your passions, everything that you have that you did not let out. You go with that. So you have to remember every day is another day to express. Every year is another year. Every month is another month to express the different talents that you have because we have enough to last us a lifetime. We
Nice.
have enough to last us the lifetime. Don't get caught up in a situation where we have to go to work because most people that are working are not doing what they're spiritually and mentally gifted at. If we
Right.
didn't have to do these things where it has to go to work and clock this and clock that, and we just did what we naturally are good at, because you have more than one thing. Everybody has three things: it's mind, body, and soul. So there's at least three things that you're excellent at. I mean, excellent. All right, there has to be that. So if we just take the time to tap into those things, then yeah, you can mentally free. You can free yourself. You can still be at work, but this is something that you have to do. You can use that work to build you a platform. Because all the jobs in the beginning, any type of work was always made for you to have your land when you were done. So you weren't made to work there to death. You were made to work there to build, to have employees, to build more, and to make the whole infrastructure of our earth better.
Right.
If we had that, we would probably be on the barter system, bro. Like it's like, well, Mark, in order for me to do this, let me fix the rims on your car, and you can do this, that, and the third. Yeah. I mean, it would just be, we get to really do what we love to do. So that's my answer to that.
That's good. I feel like it's hard too. Johnny U says, wise words. Thank you. Thank you. And then he says, wait a minute, slow down. I'm writing this down. check out the Mountain Bike Q&A show if you guys get a chance. Awesome stuff. Trail Monster saying, reps upon reps. Muscle memory equals second nature.
Amen.
Second nature. I feel like that is that whisper that we hear when we're at work, when we're in the car, when we're commuting and we're doing things that we probably know we shouldn't do, whether it's missing a workout or not following what we're designed to be here for. It's like we all know because you hear it, and you hear it when it's quiet. But it takes that kind of bravery to jump out and start to take little steps towards that thing that you were designed to do. And I think that's what you were preaching at right there. It can be hard.
Yeah, what we did. I mean, it's funny you said that little man, that little person inside. What we did, man, we let that person go to Vegas, and we never called him back. We let him go on vacation, and while he was on vacation, we let another person come in and dictate that man's job. Like, people need other people to tell them what to do and how to operate. If you think about it, the psychiatric department, the psychiatric department, the clinical department is making way too much money, man.
Yeah.
Because people need to be told what to do. And that's a tough thing, because I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you how to live. The first thing a person should tell you is, hey, you can listen to my advice, but I'm not telling you to take it, because I'm not you. I'm looking at it from my perspective. So that's the thing that we kind of lost a grip on, is the inner you. The inner you is gone, and now you're looking for outer connection. It's like what they call it, outsourcing. Instead of just working on the local you, you're outsourcing. Why are you outsourcing?
Yeah,
you shouldn't be outsourcing. We have the basketball situation, and it's not just basketball, it's all in sports, because pressure is pressure. You have when you have the mental situation with your mind, and they're having this mental illness.
Yes,
it's mental illness. It's because we're not telling people, like, there's no illness. You just have to start listening to yourself. Everyone listens to everybody else, now you're confused, and of course you're gonna be all in destitute. Just think about it. If you just listen to everybody else, where would you be right now?
Right.
And that's what happens to these guys, man. And you figure, why it happens to people on the higher levels? It's because we just need the motivational skills to teach the next guy, man. Like, I was fortunate enough to have old school coaches. I was born in 1980, so 80s kid. So you had the commercials was constantly telling you to stay off drugs. You had to don't drink and drive, buckle a seatbelt. Officer McGruff, what's the forest fire dude? What's his name?
Smokey the Bear.
Smokey the Bear.
Only
we had
forest fires.
Come on, bro. We had the after school specials. We had everything to equip us to be model citizens. That's not there anymore. So as a child, and your parents, say you come from a broken home, you're looking for something. You need guidance. Say you're a girl, a young lady, and your dad's not home. You're gonna need that love somewhere. Same thing with a band. If your mom's not home, your father's not home. So those things are very, very fundamentally important. So what happens is when you don't have those things, or you have those parents and you have these these excellent athletes and they just usher them up there, there's a void. And you was with your kids when I saw you the other day, and
Yeah.
your son is stoic, he's relaxed, he's chill, he's confident. You can see he's exuding that stuff because
Yeah.
that's because somebody is plugging into that algorithm and downloading that information on that hard drive, you know, and
Yeah.
that's what we're missing now. And it's kind of crazy, but we can bring it back by just having these podcasts like you have right now, and having platforms like this. It's awesome. I think mountain biking too. When you're in the mountains, it's quiet. You have to
Yes.
stay focused. You have to be with the group you're with. Anything can happen out there, bro.
Yeah.
So you guys can be biking somewhere. We can be biking somewhere far out, and somebody gets injured, man. That's panic.
Yep.
How do you handle those things?
That's right.
So all that starts from, believe it or not, from the home. From the home. I don't care how you grew up. Was there someone there to wrangle in that mind? Because we're people of learned behavior. We have instincts, but our instincts are natural to protect us. But we are creatures of learned behavior. You
Yes.
know, So those are things that I think need to be addressed, if you will.
That's great stuff, Kenny. And I feel like when there's that void, people find themselves looking for that external validation versus internal validation.
Yeah.
And they get stuck in that loop. And there's this crazy saying that is, I'm not who you think I am. I am who you think that I think you think I am. Instead of
Yeah.
knowing who you are, I want to be what you think I am. And you get lost.
Exactly. Like
And
that Eminem song. You say,
yes.
I am whatever you say I am. But if I'm not,
Right. Will the
Hey,
multi-wheel Slim Shady please stand up?
you see how confused he was?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's crazy how much the mind plays on a lot of things, and we're touching on it here when it comes to sports. And I feel like a lot of people have the opportunity to perform at an elite level, and a lot of people may fall off before they reach their potential, not necessarily because their body can't handle it, but I think a lot of it comes from the mind as well.
Yeah, yes, dude. Oh my God. Like, um, when I was my story. It's not what the segment's about, but just to touch on it real quick.
Yes,
I
please.
had some rough stuff coming through. When I went to Hofstra University, I had a coach that didn't like me, and I could clearly see that. Didn't like how I was coming from California. You know, I ostracized me. Felt like I was
Dang.
being pointed out. Once, and then I didn't come from programs that were like that. I was admired, if you will, or invited to be part of the programs that I played on. Except for that one, I felt and I got injured. Like things didn't work out the way it was supposed to as far as injury, and I had to have a hernia surgery. I broke my hand. So it was like it was a calamity, like one thing after another, where this is when you needed these men that are around you to step up and be men,
Yes.
and I didn't get that.
Oof.
I felt more like, it was more like they were on the front running of the situation,
Mm.
like I had no assistance. And I haven't really spoke about that situation since probably today. It's probably the first time I've spoken about that
Oh man.
situation. There was no backing. I had a NCAA situation that wasn't in my power, and I had no help there. I probably still have a year left at that school, but
Jeez.
they never fought for me to get on the field that time in my senior year, because it was like one of those things where it was somebody doesn't like you, bro. You can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? Like some people just don't like who you are. No matter how hard you work, no matter how many people you beat out, no matter how strong you are, how fast you are, sometimes you just get caught up in that situation. And I was unfortunately I was one of those guys, but I made it through. I made it through, and I knew what was going on, and I knew how much control that I had in the situation. So I just had to let it all play out. And I knew my road to the NFL because at the time I was a young guy,
Mhm.
and you're blinded by your ambitions, and so I was pushing to make it, and so I wasn't caring about none of that. I was like, I'm going through this adversity, this and the third, but I can make it. I'm gonna be something in this. I'm gonna be something in this, and I wasn't fueled by what happened. I was more fueled by the fact that I have this burning desire to be all that I can be, no matter what it is. I almost joined the Marines, man. Out of high school, they gave me a scholarship and everything. But I have fun. I have more fun playing football. No disrespect to the Marines, but I'm 18. I was sports, watching football a day, and so I took that road. So I was prepared for anything that happened. So when I had that adversity, I'm telling you, Mark, I knew it right then and there. This is the adversity part. Mm.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
that part of my life where this is the twist and turn
Yeah.
where I thought was gonna be is not kind of being right now. So I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but I can't leave. I gotta stay in the fight. And I did it, man. It was a lot of guys on my team that was like, man, I would have been left, and I did try to leave, but the timing wasn't good. When I was calling up the schools, it was just like they was already filled up. Kenny, we love what you do, blah blah. It was just it was one of those things where it's like, okay, just take it on the chin, bro. Stay in the fight. Get up off the canvas and go swing. Keep swinging, bro. This is a lifetime bout. So
Yeah.
keep swinging, bro. So I got up and I kept going, and I showed up the pro day, put up some of the best numbers. You know, I did a lot of good things that day. Let's say that. I'm not gonna harp on numbers and everything, but I did a lot of great things that day, and I got my chances. And what held me back was the situations with the coach and those things. But it is what it is. I'm here today talking to you, helping hoping to bless somebody else, and I end up doing Madden for 14 years and TV shows, commercials, and all types of stuff. So
I love it.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have.
For the folks that want to look at the combine numbers, you can look up Kenny Bell. Impressive stuff.
Oh yeah,
Speed,
oh yeah.
and I don't think you dropped a single ball that day. I don't
Oh
think
no,
at all.
no,
Yeah,
no,
clean.
dude. I went to Cerritos College, right? Shout out to Cerritos College Falcons for life. Um, and Coach Mazzota, he was not playing about dropping balls at all. Him, Coach Dean, Coach Parks, Coach Wicks, those are my receiver coaches. Coach Dean was our offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. They didn't play when it came to dropping balls. We couldn't even wear gloves when I was at Cerritos College.
Oh,
So it'd be some cold nights. We're California, so some nights it's cold, your hands are freezing.
right.
But he didn't believe in that. He was like, you have to learn how to feel and touch the ball. And what happens is we have to grade ourselves and all that. It was a very, very it's a great program. We got championships, and it taught me a lot, and I learned a lot from Coach Mazzota over there at Cerritos College. He was like a surrogate father to me. He's a really good man. And so when I left from there, I went to Hofstra. The the energy that I had come from Cerritos and all the prestige and all the how I looked at football and how I looked at coaches, it prepared me so well. When I got there, they wasn't ready for me. My route running was proficient. The way I spoke to coaches was direct. Coach Mazzotta always taught you to speak up, not speak your mind or you be disrespectful, but if you have something to say, there's appropriate time to say it.
Yes.
So when I was being disrespected by the coach, I mean disrespected, MF'd, and I mean for no reason, and I could tell I'm a different guy. I come from California, the second guy or third guy from California on the team, basically ever. So I kind of
Wow.
felt it was like that, that shell shock. So I told the coach right then and there after practice, I said, man, don't can you I said, don't talk to me like that. This is after practice in his office. I walked in there and I said, hey coach, can we have a conversation? I don't appreciate how you spoke to me like that. You MFing me in front of people, you calling me names, you talking to me all crazy. I just got here. If you guys,
Right.
I said, if you don't want me here, it's still time for me to leave, and I can go to another college. I go to a NAIA. I don't have to. I just want to play,
Right. Right.
and he was like, "Oh no, no, it's okay. I understand, I understand." But when he was saying that, I could just tell right in his face that he was like, "No, you're going down.
Oh
I'm not
man,
dealing with that."
politics. My gosh,
Yo, man,
man.
so I wasn't yelling on the team. I was saying, "Well, coach don't like." I didn't say any of that. I let the players see it play out. And to this day, some of my really good friends on the team does not know some of the conversations and some things that conversations I had with the coaches. Because when I was healthy and everything, I said, I want you guys to use me. I can throw the ball, I can run the ball, I can play tailback, I can play defensive back, I can play wide receiver. So I asked him since my last year, and we have like a spread offense. Can I do more things? Can I come out the backfield? Can I catch the ball on the spread and stuff like that? He's like, yes, 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 yes. Right after that conversation, about 2 weeks later, he went to another school.
Oh, geez, Louise. Of course, he was saying
Yeah.
yes, knowing that he's going to be leaving. My goodness.
Yeah, yeah. So, without playing the violin too long, um, I still just went through the fight. I knew it was gonna be a long road, but I told every scout and all that to happen. I still got scouted and stuff like that. I just didn't have enough film to back it up because I got injured, and then I had this situation with the NCAA that was another doozy because they have nobody to answer to. And so when they don't want to be speeding on your information or want to drag their feet, there's no one that you can call over their heads. And if
Okay.
compliance is in good with the coaching staff and they the whole inner workings, and I knew I was already up against that. I was waiting on
Okay.
a phone call. Put it like this: I would get dressed. This is what they told me. I'm thinking I'm ineligible to play. So when I looked at NCAA rules, you couldn't be 100 yards within the practice facility
Oh,
if you're ineligible because academics or whatever, right? Because I had a
right.
3.8 when I got there. Same when I maintained all that. So the cold thing is, I was still at practice. I'm practicing with the first team. I'm suiting up for the games, and I'm watching the games from inside our locker room because you can see the locker room through the glass, through the you can see the field through the locker room. Sorry, and I'm watching the game fully padded. They're telling me we're waiting on a call from the NCAA to select you on the field.
Oh, man.
So I'm like, so somebody's got to call and say yay or nay.
Wow.
So I had to deal with that almost the whole season, about 8 weeks. And so I asked if I can be on scout team because I'm like, I'm not benefiting the team at all. Like,
Right. Sitting in the
why
locker
am I
room.
why am I practicing every day on first team when my backup could be doing this and we could be
Yes.
being more effective on the field instead of me having practice and I'm getting hyped up thinking I'm getting a call from the NCAA, and then Friday comes or Saturday comes and I'm suited up, ready to go, adrenaline's pumping, all that, and I'm not on the field.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I dealt with it and it made me a better man. I don't take any of it back. Had it been different, of course I would have did a lot of good things. There's no way around it. I was ready to quit. That was good to go. I was being consistent. I was good, so I don't regret that part. It's just that somebody got to be behind to tell the story. And I
Yes.
happen to be the one to be behind to tell the story to these people that's coming up.
Man.
There's no doors that I don't think I'm afraid to walk through. There's nobody I'm scared to talk to. No audience. Nobody. I don't care who you are. I don't care how high you are on the ladder, who you are in life. I'm not afraid to have a conversation with you. You know, we're all gonna go through something.
Yes, definitely.
You know.
It's interesting hearing you tell that story because the adversity I could tell is filling this cup up and it's forcing you to play all these different positions and be ready and be
Hmm.
consistent for anything that comes up. And
Yep.
what that ended up looking like was here. Being
Hmm.
one of the biggest motion capture actors out there, how did all of this turn into to from the NFL to from the NFL goals and passions and readiness to Madden?
Oh, that's interesting. I want to say, well, I was out. The guy who got me in Madden, he was one of my coaches at Gar High School, and he had a connection with I want to say what industry? It was Paramount Pictures,
Okay. Big.
and the
That's
first
big.
thing, yeah, I was huge, and I knew how big it was, but I don't know that the gaming industry was about to do what it was getting ready to do. So this is like 2003, I want to say, and I was kind of going in and out of stuff, and I was in Atlanta, and I was living with my mom, and I was helping her out with my sisters, and I was coaching, I was trying to get a teaching job, still training every day, like training, like hardcore training. Like you would have thought I was training for the Olympics, weight room, running 150s, 200s, 400s.
Jeez.
I was getting it because I was at that time I was so frustrated because I had all this athleticism that I didn't get a chance to express. So typically
Yeah.
it was still gnawing at the bit. So when when I ended up coming back to California, um I started getting back into like I started into acting and stuff like that, just to kind of where I can use my athleticism.
Yeah.
And my ex coach, he said, "Yo, are you in shape?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, Peyton Manning is making a football game. It's called NFL Fever, and we need a tackling dummy." And
You're like,
so,
wait, what?
yeah. So I get there, and we put on pads, and I was like, I'm all for it. I'll jump. The thing is, Mark, I mean, even to this day, but I mean, back then, of course, gung ho all the way to the flow. Like I get into studio, and one of the guys I'm working with is end up being um a guy I worked with my whole life, ended up being my whole entertainment life, Mazio Royster.
Oh,
Running back from USC, perennial running back at USC, great guy. And another guy, Champagne. I can't remember Champagne's first name, but we get it there in the studio and we start banging it up. I mean, like we're doing football stuff, and they have the concrete, and it's like literally a 3-inch crash mat, and we
oh,
got on helmets, shoulder
jeez.
pads. In the studio, it's probably about as big as your walk-in closet,
Dang. And you guys are going full speed?
full speed.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
you're gonna flip, you're gonna do a helicopter this one, you're gonna jump to the side and do this. So doing all that NFL fever stuff for those 2 games, got paid like I think like $500 or $800, something like that,
Oh
bro.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Come on, Peyton Manning.
It was serious stunts, and so that led to doing stuff for Midway. The whole the game. What game did they have at the time? Blitz, the
Oh,
league.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
did all that stuff with a buddy of mine, Kevin Cassidy. He was a real good talent. Chris Robbins. I worked with some really good stunts. Some of the guys that you're watching in these movies, like Black Panther, all these Marvels. I work with most of those stunt directors and in the direct and coordinators of those movies. All these sports and football shows. I work with mostly all those guys, and they're great guys to work with. Their predecessors are very successful. It's a wonderful situation, man, to actually to do that. So when I was climbing the ladder, I went from Blitz, which was nowhere in compliance, well, not compliance, but nowhere in existence because they were with Midway
Oh,
Sports out of
yeah.
Chicago. Yeah, and Midway, first pinball machine was made by Midway.
Yeah.
They're no longer in operation anymore. But we used to go to Chicago, and from there it was jammed at video games, all the cell phone video games. When the cell phone video game craze was out, I was in that sports realm doing that. A bunch of
Dang.
stuff for Iranian sports for their when they were introducing Olympic sports for them. We had to do a bunch of what is it called, motion capture things for their advertisements. So it's been a ride. And then next thing you know, my coach gets a call from Madden, and I go up there, and at this time it was like 2004, and I played Madden, and I was just having a tournament at my buddy's house, and all that stuff. So he said, "Madden," I'm like, "Yeah, let's go up there." So I go to Madden, and we get there, and they put me through like a straight up combine,
Oh,
and
dang.
yeah, and my numbers was crazy, bro, crazy. crazy 40, the shuttle, jumping for balls. I mean everything. And then with the at that time, the caption space was a lot smaller, so you had to do a lot of stuff in a very small compartmented area, you know. So like it was like 30, I say about 20, 30 yards wide, 30 yards length, and we would just hit. I mean, like some of the craziest stuff that will be on that game. Those are all real. Everything is real high impact. It didn't start getting low impact until I would say like now, because we when I started it was 68 cameras, then it went to 115, and then it went to 165. You know, so it was a bunch. It was different complexions of work on the game. So when I started, they had the clock. You have a clock. You have all the dials around the clock, right? Each number. We used to have to do every hit or every elusive move or every breakaway, because there's a win and a loss. You know, so a loss is a tackle. You know, it might be a flip, might be a helicopter, might be all types of stuff.
My gosh.
And a win could be I spin, I shake, I check another guy and get out of there. You know, so each take it could take at least 3 to 4 takes at each number.
Oh my gosh.
So just picture that.
It. Holy cow.
And you are suited with the outfit I told you, with the pads, the Velcro suit, the helmet. You're sweating, you know, you're sweating the life out your body. You know, so you have to be ready. You cannot come from back then, you couldn't come up there to Burnaby, Canada, then you're going to do a Madden shoot and survive. You will die. we had crazy injuries, crazy hydration, all types of stuff, man. I thank God that I'm able to, you know, I really give thanks to the Most High. I'm able to make it through all that, man, because I've taken some horrendous hits, you know, and like I think I'm the only guy that did a 720 corkscrew with pads on in a 90-degree angle on the game. That's like one of the special celebrations you can do.
Dang.
You know, so it's definitely it's a very rigorous situation. And so I would do so, like I told you, the sundial. So I'm gung ho, like I'm down to do whatever. I did all the Randy Moss stuff, Michael Vick, all that good stuff, all the quick guys. So I would be on that mat for 4 hours. And you know, I don't have to come off, because once I go into a zone, I'm in a zone, bro.
Dang,
Kenny. I'm not coming back, Mark.
I believe it, bro. I've seen you out there, man.
Yeah. You know, so it wasn't about the NFL. It never been about the NFL and playing in pros. Because if it was about that, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I'd be, you know, sitting down somewhere, you know, living in a lap of luxury. It was about the grind. It's about the longevity. It's about being able to do it now. It's about I'm not hung up on my ego to where it's like I want to be, you know, the best, you know, 40-year-old. No, man, I just want to be the best me. And if I'm able to do this, it's a blessing. If you don't use it, it's a curse. You're gonna be cursed. If you're able to do it, you have to do it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit. Oh, excuse my language. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
It's good. Yeah, you could curse on the show.
Yeah. Okay, but I won't do too much.
Kenny, we'll check in with the chat real quick. We got some folks that are chiming in. Trail Pimp out of Lake Tahoe saying, "How can I become fearless in the bike park at age 50, riding with his 14-year-old son?" Because
you've been there already, bro. You've been there. Your 14-year-old don't even know how to feel to be 15. He ain't gonna be 14 for a year. So he's gonna be out of there before you know it. You've been there already, Brody. You've been there. You've been there. Don't let these foods you eat and stuff clog your brain up and have the sugars in there and give you fog brain and forget what you used to do when you was a kid, man. Those aspirations you had as a young man that you couldn't do because you was probably too weak, whatever. You're strong enough now. You're a grown man now.
Yeah.
And hey, if your son is better than you on the bike right now, guess what? Now that's your chance to digress and humble yourself and learn from your 14-year-old, because he's never been 50. That may open up a whole nother conversation for you guys.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And Trail Pimp, like Kenny was saying too, be your best self.
That's it.
You don't have to be like the 14-year-old, but you can come down that thing fearless at 50.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Which is beautiful. Octodad in New Zealand saying, people need purpose and a reason to be awesome. We need to teach our kids this model and how to live.
Totally agree. Totally
Yes.
agree.
We got Charlie on here. I don't know if you know MTV, if you know Charlie Hicks, but he says, "What's up, Kenny? What's up, Kenny?"
What
People saying,
up?
"Hey,
What up, Hicks? What's happening, baby?
Charlie." They're saying, "Hit that like button." Yeah, hit that like button,
Yeah,
everybody.
smash that like button.
It's
Come on
good.
now.
It's good stuff. Tumor Warrior 67. Man, I got to introduce you to this kid. His name is Zach. He was saved by, of all things, a mountain bike crash, which revealed a
Oh
tumor he
wow.
didn't realize he had that would have eventually taken his life.
Wow.
He's gone
That's a
through,
story.
yeah, he's gone through multiple surgeries, and he's here with us today. Guess what? He's a
Man,
football player and a mountain biker.
he's a
So
warrior.
he's a warrior. Tumor Warrior
That's right.
67. I have to introduce you guys. He's good stuff.
Please.
Trail Pimp saying California Love. SSB is in the house. John B. What's up, John B? Just had knee surgery. This guy, he says, "Sup, family? Just dropped in. Oh, dang. KB Madden Man in the house. Let's get to work.
Let's get it. Let's
No
get it.
excuses, aka Mr. Broken Record."
Hey. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Timur was saying, "Hey, Kenny, what is your favorite Madden game? Like what year? And what is your favorite
Okay,
celebration?"
I tell you right now, my favorite Madden year was 2014.
Oh,
That
dang.
that was the I was it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day. My favorite Madden, well, EA series football. It's not Madden. It's actually college 2014.
Oh, dang.
That one with the high school, going from high school to college, the soundtrack, the whole situation to me was the coldest the coldest thing EA did, the football department did, because it
Nice.
really is Madden just in the college form. But 2000 to 2000, that one in 2000 2015, one with Barry, no, the 25th edition, I think that's 2015 with Barry Sanders on it.
Nice.
That's one of my favorite ones. Yeah.
There you go, Zach. Hope you
Drew
like.
Drew had a good one too. His
Yes.
edition was good. A couple of them was, not so, but Drew's was really good. I got that one in my car actually. That one was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Everything Breezy does through a lot of hard work, grit, and everything else,
Oh, bro.
man, he's so solid.
Oh man, man. Like I said, that's another segment in itself. The dude is a class act.
Yes.
The guys he worked with, Tom House alone is man. I mean, so many diamonds, so many jewels, bro. If you get on that conversation, would be 2 hours show.
I know. Yeah, he is a gem for sure. I love that guy. Octodad in New Zealand is asking you, Kenny, what is your favorite Super Bowl final?
Oh, bro, Doug Williams, Washington Redskins when it was the Redskins. Yes, that
Yes.
that that performance will never be repeated again, bro. Ever. Next to Jerry Rice scoring the first touchdown in the Super Bowl against the Chargers. But that Washington Redskins victory, that was a special one. And that season was very, very special. If you can see this, go watch the highlights of that season again. Hmm.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Kenny, for us, I can't believe we're already up on an hour. We're getting
Right?
close to it. It's crazy, but I do want to get into a question that can kind of overlap into some grit and nutrition. So let's talk about the athlete that's
Yes.
on the bike, the athlete that's on the field. What would you say, with all your years of experience in seeing young bucks coming up and seeing people in flow state and performing at the highest level, what would you say are some of the secrets to the athlete to perform at their highest level? What would it be? Nutrition and grit mindset.
Definitely. When I was saying fuel earlier, I meant like, of course, what's inside the octane. So for me personally, I use herbs. I use herbs like what is it? Burdock root, dandelion root, what is sarsaparilla,
Mhm.
um, a lot of the red bark. Um, shoot, let me see. Not dandelion root, but yellow dock, sea moss. I don't do a lot of I don't have a regimen to where it's like I eat 3 times a day and I have to have this many calories. I really, really listen to my body, because as you get older, your body's going to shed things. It's not going to need certain things. You know, as you get older, your bones are not as strong as they were when you were younger, so you have to shed certain things so you can still be strong. So one thing is going to be the nutrition. It's going to be more water. It's going to be less red, anything red that's going to have more stress on the body. That's going to slow you down from oxidative things. You
Mm.
know, less sugar, um, things that are really going to take you away from your performance. You have to cut those things out. And like I said, with technology nowadays, you can look this up and really go into detail of your workout regimen and what you put in your body.
When you're taking those herbs and supplements there, are they things that you're getting at the store, or do you put them in a smoothie? How do you
Okay,
consume them?
that's a great question. I used to rely on the vitamins over the counter, until I realized, you're not digesting a lot, and I don't know where they came from, and I don't know what process they did, and so on and so forth. So I just took it upon myself and got all the herbs that I needed, and I ordered them raw. And so for what works for me and works for you too, is I crush them up into powder form, and I make my own vitamin capsules. And so I mix a multivitamin, or one might just have one strict thing. But for the most part, there's like beetroot powder, turmeric, ginger, fenugreek, amongst the other powders I told you, all mixed in one vitamin. And I take those three times a day, morning, noon, and night, and I can trust and rely on that, and I can see the results right in my house. I don't have to rely on anything else. I can save my money. And it actually, when you buy things in raw form, they're cheap. But if I was to put this on the market and give you 28 of those vitamins, that would be about 35 of your dollars.
Oh,
That
dang.
I'm doing this in my house basically for free. People don't buy herbs anymore. They rely on salt and salt and pepper. They're not relying on herbs.
Interesting. Did you just make the Madden Man daily vitamin?
Yes, I did, my friend.
That would
Yes,
be
I did.
that could be a $1 million idea there.
Yeah.
That
Hmm.
that is cool. Definitely. Of course, we got my buddy Johnny out there in Miami. He's saying Doritos and PBR. And his wife Lauren is saying vitamin Merlot, Swiss cheese extract, and Dorito root is my routine. You gotta love them,
Oh
man.
man, that is
I,
hilarious.
I
That is
love it.
hilarious.
They're the best. He says, kidding aside, Johnny U from Mountain Bike Q&A saying, kidding aside, what do you think about ginger for inflammation?
I think it's really good. I think for the most part, everybody can take ginger if I'm not mistaken. I think it's really good for inflammation, but I wouldn't say consult a doctor. If things that you have, if you eat ginger and then you have flare-ups, of course, don't take it. But yes, it's great for inflammation. Ginger and turmeric mixed together is like, it doubles down on that. A lot of these things, a lot of stuff that we take, they say this thing sounds it works the same way, but if you take this one in the morning, it's going to do something different for you when you take this one in the night. Or this one before rest, and this one when you're going to be active. So just like you have your day quill, you have your night quill, but they're both quill, right?
Yeah,
So it's the same thing with the herbs and stuff like that. You can't go wrong, but they'll do different things for you at different times of the day.
gotcha.
Your body is made of the ground. So wouldn't it be natural to replace it with the things of the ground? Most of the herbs you get are root. They're coming from the root. You're not getting the plant. But with a dandelion, you eat the whole thing, like the little yellow dandelions you see outside.
Uh-huh.
You can eat the whole thing from the flower, the whole leaf to the root, everything.
Dang. Dang.
So that's one of those things that they don't tell you. We got all these homeless people out here running these streets. They can be eating very healthy out here. We're in California, man. There's orange trees. There's cactus fruits on all these cactuses that you pass by on the freeway. There's lemons. There's lemongrass. There's so many
Yeah.
things out just you can eat that they don't teach us. And we could have,
Avocados.
oh, they're
Yeah.
all on the street, bro. So if you was
Yeah.
homeless and if you knew what to look for, I mean, you would be a very healthy homeless person. Let's say that.
Yeah. Well, if the apocalypse happens, I'm gonna be going to ask Kenny for some tips on things. Plus, by the way, he's fast and he could probably beat a lot of people up.
I got you. I got you. I got you, Mark. You got the bikes. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
that's right. That's right. Gerald Pibb is saying, "Is Monster Energy an herb? It makes me feel like Superman." Johnny said, "Oh, also, what about eating aloe? What do you think about aloe?"
It'll be good for your digestive system.
Okay.
It'll be good. Yeah, it'll definitely help if you have any. If you need to coat your stomach, definitely good for coating the belly. It's better than drinking Pepto Bismol or anything like that.
Got
Yeah.
it. Gotcha. And then just in closing, Kenny, obviously, with the sport, I've seen you guys like before practice starts, and it's all about, "Hey, what's going on? Good to see you." And then as soon as someone starts hiking the ball and snapping the ball, it like you guys turn into lions upon lions. And I think one of the things in our sport of mountain biking is when we are not in the zone, when we're not paying attention, that's when we get hurt. That's when
Right.
things like catch us. But for you at that athletic peak level, what is there a trick that you do, or how do you snap into the flow state and get into the zone quickly? What is that? Is there something there that help you get there?
I mean, excuse my French, but it's like fuck it. It's for me personally. I'm like, this is personal. I don't give a fuck about nobody out here, but this ball. Most of the times I came out there, which is when I wasn't on that video. I had earplugs in my ears. I'm out there with earplugs all the time. I don't want to hear shit.
Yeah.
Because now I'm so focused on the ball, I can't hear a hike. I can't hear nothing. I can't hear a joke behind me. So when the game comes, when the moment finally hits, I don't have earplugs in the game because I got to hear the calls and the signals. But my focus is so much sharper. I can tune everything out. It's hard to play when it's quiet, just like it's hard to play in an intimate setting where it's playing a big old crowd.
Yeah,
you have to be ready for those things. What if you're going on a mountain bike trail on your own? You trying to break a record, or you trying to just get your PR, and you're by yourself. You have to tune the out.
Yeah.
You have to. You have ramps. You have curves. I seen your page, bro. That shit ain't easy. And on top of that, I want to give a shout out to all the mountain bikers out there, man. I understand. And if nobody understands shit, I do. All that and then falling and not knowing, it's risky as shit. It's like skiing. It's like downhill skiing, man. Anything can happen out there. That shit's rough. Your forearms get your forearms, your wrists, your back, just pedaling your knees. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. So you have to be in that total focus. Because I'm not out here to waste money. Everybody out here is making $1 million, bro. It ain't out here to waste your goddamn time. We are out here to get something. So that's how I look at it. I don't care about what cheese he's chasing. Right now, there's no check, there's no cash, there's no fans. There's just you and the goddamn ball and your focus. That's it. That's why you've never seen me talking to guys out there like that, or homeboy and all that. It has to be afterwards.
Yes.
Because I'm out there to do one thing, and that's to meet people with my athleticism, not my mouth, with my concentration, my focus, not my mouth. I'm trying to make lifelong friendships, not temporary games. So that's my impression. To me, that's everything. That's why I don't talk trash. I don't talk shit.
Yeah.
We'll show it.
That's awesome. I see that when you guys are out there, and I feel that when we're on the bikes, that's where we are. We're present. Like when we're going down these hills and there are rocks and drops and jumps and things like that, like you don't have time to think about anything else. You have to be in that moment. Otherwise, something bad could happen. Definitely.
Yeah, brother. So. Like I saw that jump you did. I was like, 15-foot jump. I mean, you land the wrong way. You take it for granted one good time. That will twist. We got us a problem.
Yes, exactly.
So like my hat goes off to that big time. I love biking. To tell you the truth, like I told you when we was at the park,
Yeah.
I love riding. I love it. It keeps my legs in shape, keep me good for my flag games and my basketball games, and stuff like that. So it's great for me.
I love it, Kenny. That answers this question. Trope him saying, Kenny, do you mountain bike? And there's your
Not
answer.
yet. I'm looking for a good road master. Honestly.
We'll get you out on some, Kenny.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get you out on some. Octodad in New Zealand saying, how do you train young kids 10 to 12 years old to go hard, sport and life?
Well, first off, this sports in life, it's all a mentality. You might have somebody who's just not into it. They just may not be meant for them. But what if is there something else that they're meant to do? Your job is to hone in on that. That's your job. Your job is to hone in on what they're good at. If the young man or young lady is motivated, then your job is to push on the motivation. You can't make an apple into an orange.
Mm.
It's just not going to happen. You have to accept what it is, and then you peel it or you slice it. But when it comes to just getting a kid to go hard, find out what they're into. These kids have imaginations. These kids like all types of TV shows, all types of sports shows. Compare them to somebody. Let them. Who do you see in them that they like to see in their sport? Because to me, I can compare any child to any athlete. Because the thing is, Mark, all we are is we're duplicates. We're doing learned behavior sports, right? How you get a
Yes.
release. How do you do this? We only know these things because another person did it phenomenally well. Then we turned around and just taught that movement that person did and made it a technique.
Yes. So true.
You know,
If you see it,
so
you could believe it and do it. Yeah.
come on, brother.
Yes. Yes, that's good. That's really good, Kenny. Tumor Warrior is saying, during practice, how do you change from a practice pace to game speed and dominate? This is coming from an active football player right here.
Oh man, I love that question. Okay. Like I said, remember I said you have to kind of find the metaphor within the life you live. Everybody should have their own metaphors for everything that you do. All right. So to me, this is a Clark Kent and Superman type situation here.
Mm-hmm.
When you're around the individuals that's outside the lines, you're Clark Kent. It's simply put, you're Clark Kent. That don't mean you're not Superman. That don't mean at any moment you might have to use those football skills to protect your mom or something. Or to go save a person from a burning building. You're always on, but at the same time, you're not always needed. So that's that Clark Kent and Superman mentality. When you get on the field, it's like, damn, I can finally take off this damn suit and everybody can see me for who I am. I'm about to save a lot of babies today. I'm gonna get some sacks. I'm gonna get some interceptions. I'm gonna get some touchdowns. I'll make some completions. So it's that X-Men or that DC or whatever mentality that you have to have, bro. Because we have double lives. I don't care who you are. You have a fucking double life.
Yes.
Maybe a triple or quadruple life. So you just tap in and tap out. That's all you gotta do, warrior. That's it, baby. You've been through this game, bruh. You've been through it. You already know you've been through something that me and Mark has hopefully, we won't have to go through. But if we did, you would be there to coach us through it, bro.
That's right.
You know how to do this, my man.
Yes, mentality. The body's ready. You just gotta turn the brain on and turn the brain off and know when to be. MTB Nick 316 is saying, football. Yeah.
316, baby. Yes, sir.
Love it. Two more warriors just saying thank you and yes, sir.
You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome.
Kenny, if you wouldn't mind taking us out from this podcast, maybe anything motivational, speaking to the mountain bikers that are out there, the athletes that are out there, the Madden fans that are out there, how can they best be themselves in today's current environment? What would you say to those folks?
Well, I mean, and I don't mean to sound, generic, but talk to the generation that's been there before you. Talk to the old school warriors that have been there before you. Go and get some research. Go do your research of past things that have nothing to do with now. Like the way we approach things is totally different from why we approached it in the 90s. We have to learn from our elders. We don't do that anymore. We don't ask questions. How many teenagers ask you, Mark, about life that you don't even know? They don't even talk to us.
Yes.
They don't even acknowledge us. I'm only 42, bro. I play basketball against these clowns and be killing these young boys. You don't ask me how I do this? You're 16. It's this know-it-all situation. So my thing is, if you want to know more, you have to ask the generation that's been there. That's the only way you're going to know. You can study all the books you want. You can read everything you want. You can watch all the Dr. Phil shows you want. But you need to talk to one of them soldiers that have been in the grit first. Go talk to somebody. Go speak to your elders. We don't do enough of that. That's the problem, my friend.
I love that.
We, our age, don't speak to our elders. That's the problem with that. How many grown people on this show, I can ask them right now, how many of you still ask advice from your parents? Instead of worrying and getting these mental issues, talk to your damn parents. Talk to an older person that's been there. Stop being scared.
So true.
My thing is communication. You can start a war and end a war in one sentence, bro. That's how I want to leave this segment. You have to, this gap that we got between the so-called young and old is bullshit. The only way you're gonna know where you're going is by somebody that can say, hey man, I navigated those waters. Look out for this, look out for that, look out for this, look out for that. They don't do that. I mean, these kids making $1 million at 18, how the fuck they gonna listen to you?
I know. They need to.
They have to. Yeah. How you gonna make $1 million if you can't listen to somebody who been trying their hardest to make $1 million and just made it 2 years ago and they're 55 years old and you just now got it?
Right. It's
you ain't not, dude. Yeah. Come on, bro. That guy's a setup for the tax bracket.
Yeah, it's so tough for it now for them to get lost in it, and then you see these personalities within any sport, and you're like, how did that happen? Everything was bro. There. What happened? Yeah,
exactly, my man.
Dr. Dad is saying, "Amen." Definitely learn from the wise.
I wanted to be light spirited when I left, when I went and got off, man, but I didn't mean to be so serious. But that's just one thing that's really, we could really benefit from. Just, hey man, we need these kids to reach back because we reaching to these kids, bro. We reaching out to them. You know, they got their podcast. Why don't you come interview some older cats on your young podcast? Yes. Jake Paul, you know, all these guys. Really interview these people and get some real information. I don't ask them today's shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Learn something. They're not learning. Everybody just showy.
Yes.
Learn something.
So true. So true. Kenny Bell. My goodness, man. Preaching it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it for sure. Two more are saying this podcast was amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Dad saying, take some kids for a ride. Talk to young people in your club. Yes.
That's it, man. That's it. Yes. That's it. Take somebody by the neck, man.
Yes, definitely. So, oh man, Kenny, this has been an awesome podcast. I love being able to take a peek under the hood and see kind of what fires you up and things that you need to get out there to help reach back to the ones that are coming up behind us and dropping some great knowledge on us on how to do that. Also, just as far as being an athlete in your discipline, whatever sport that is, the mindset, the mentality, the grit, the consistency to perform at an optimal level. I love all of it. Kenny, before you go, if people want to continue to follow your story, continue to see Kenny Bell 07 and the Madden Man, where can they find you?
You can find me at KennyBell07 gmail.com. That's my email. Feel free to email me with appropriate stuff. Also, you can find me on Instagram at KennyBell07 and also LinkedIn at Kenny Bell. And on Facebook, also Kenny Bell. It's pretty simple to get in contact with me. Awesome. It's pretty simple. And also, if they want to get more research, they can also go to Google Kenny Bell, Madden Man, and a lot of stuff will show up, a lot of stuff about my life and things that we haven't discussed will probably come up also.
Yeah, one thing that I want to make sure that we put on the show that'll live out there forever is if you wouldn't mind just touching a little bit on self and your involvement in self and also how that reaches back to the youth.
Okay, Self was a project that I was working with to just kind of get people back on track, kind of like a motivational thing. You know, it kind of didn't flourish the way I wanted to, but the project was basically just working on yourself. Like the whole life, your life project is you. You are the life project. Like you're gonna have these people say, what are you? What did you do? Well, I did this, I did that. So it's like, what are you after all that? Who cares about really what you did? What are you after all that? Because you notice nowadays, you can end your whole legacy by just a text or a tweet, if you will.
I
You
know.
know,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Crazy.
what are you after that?
Mm,
It's the thing. It's not about it's yeah, of course what you're doing now, yes now, but what are you gonna be after that? Because there's gonna be adversities, there's gonna be things that's gonna happen. You know, some people are so successful in their jobs that there is no after that. They can't even leave because they don't
mm,
even know themselves after that.
right.
You got to know you're writing your life is already scripted, if you will, but you're writing a script. So you have to have a chapter 24 when you're on chapter 22. I didn't know that I was going to be a 42-year-old man when I was 22. I didn't know I was going to make it this far, but I had goals, well, not goals, but aspirations. I had, basic things that I knew if I just do this, I can see 42. I can basically predict that future. If I don't die, I can be the 42-year-old that I want to be. So there was the self project, and and the thing about self was we wanted to build people and teach them how to take care of self, straight up. And now I was doing that with my buddy Reggie, and there was something that it didn't flourish the way we wanted to. It's still there, but it's just a project until we can really get it off the ground. But that was the foundation that was built off of, and to help numerous amounts of kids across the United States, but we haven't hit the big enough platform just yet. There's a lot of kids are getting a lot of help, especially in Vegas, a lot of teaching and stuff like that. So just want to get it out there, and I think now is the time where it needs to be communicated. We have too much mental illness going around, man, and I really don't like saying the word.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's something that popped up out of nowhere because it's like a generational thing. We didn't have a bunch of these situations when I was coming up, so clearly you can see something has changed in the water, and we just have to get that out of there.
So true.
you know
Yeah.
so
So
yeah, that
true.
was that was the self project. It's still going on.
I love it. Yeah. So if anyone's listening to this, as they listen to this, whether it's on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, reach out to Kenny if this is something that is in your realm or you have somebody that could really, profit from doing this and touching base with Kenny. So Kenny, we'll put all your contact information in the show notes. And man,
Coolio.
dude, it's great to see you, man. So happy you jumped on the show. Thank you very, very much.
Man, it's been a blessing being on the show, man. I thank you, and may your show continue to be blessed, and I hope it gets a chance to touch everybody across the world, like one of the main mountain biking podcasts in the land. I hope we can get to that mark. I truly do, bro, because you
Thank
you have a presence about you, and if most people could meet you personally, they would know exactly what I'm talking about. You're very warm, very comforting, easy to talk to. You have a good radio voice,
Well,
so.
thank you very much.
You mean what you say and you say what you mean. And I told you the crazy thing is I was literally thinking about you and your family a couple weeks ago, man. I literally was, and I was telling my son about how I met you guys out there on the field and everything, bro.
That's so
Dead
cool,
ass.
man.
So when I saw you at the park, it was one of those like, man, yeah, whatever you want,
That was
let's
so
do it.
good. That was so good. Yeah, we passed by you and I looked at Messiah and I go, yo, I think that was Kenny. And so we did a second lap around the park. And then as soon as our eyes met, we're like, that was all we needed. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
whoa,
I'm
what's
glad you
happening?
stopped. Yeah, I'm glad you stopped, man.
I saw
I'm
you out there
glad you stopped.
training. You were pulling the young bucks up, giving them some skills, man.
Yeah, bro. That ain't gonna stop. That ain't gonna stop. These kids, whenever you train a child, this is anybody that train children, those children will be adults. And it's not about them hanging a jersey on them or nothing like that. Those kids are going to be business people in the world. So when you want that person to be successful in that, don't you want that person to be at least a good person?
Yes.
What if you would need another employee, or what if you need somebody to invest in your business, and that young man is a business owner now? You guys may be business partners, maybe your future business partner that you're talking to, or this may be somebody that can help your son, because your son's younger than this kid. You never know what you're doing. These are trees that are just ceilings at the moment. But they will be trees.
Yes.
They will be strong roots. They will be on standing tall on their own. So don't chop it down. Don't chop it down. Just water it, man.
Nurture.
Just water it.
That's right. Giving back.
Yeah.
Back. Oh man, I look forward to seeing and talking more.
We will.
And looking forward to more Madden football that's coming out. So there's probably going to be a new one coming out. Madden 23 just dropped not too long ago for folks who want to pick that up. Who you're listening to right now, folks, and who you see on the screen, one of the main motion capture actors, Madden Football, 14 years in running right there. Kenny
That's
Bell,
right.
07, baby. Thank you so much for jumping on the show, Kenny.
Man, thank you, Mark, man. Blessings, dude, always.
Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. Peace.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for jumping in. Always appreciate it. This has been an episode with Kenny Bell, 07, Mr. Madden Man. And man, dropping some wisdom on us all from New Zealand to Miami, out to Arkansas, California, North and South. Thank you so much for jumping on. We'll see you guys all on the next episode. See y'all soon.